Hi everyone, my name is Roman Orlov and I will talk about Selenium infrastructure and how modern cluster looks like in 2019. Short slide about me. Who am I? I'm part of an Aerokube team. We develop tools for Selenium infrastructure. Probably you already hear about our tools, but if you didn't, I will show you. I have 10 years experience in IT, mostly as DevOps. I came to DevOps from Ops side, and last 5 years working on QA infrastructure. I maintain a big Selenium cluster with 2.5 million sessions per day. It's about 5,000 parallel sessions working simultaneously. It includes all platforms such as Linux, Windows, iOS, Android, and all browsers, and all versions of these browsers. So it's a huge cluster. And it's so huge because of tools that we are using, and it helps in our work. Let's talk about what Selenium was a couple years ago. In 2016, when we don't have Docker in Selenium, maintaining a big Selenium cluster was quite painful for many reasons. For example, you can't install 2 versions of one browser on the same server. Also, it was dramatically unstable, especially when you have a lot of tests and they are running all the time, and it's quite painful. And also it's hard to scale. It's hard to scale, partly it's a consequence of previous problems. You have to create a lot of servers, watching them, they are working properly, not hanging up, not crashing. It's hard. And this is how I remember 2016. In 2017, we went through container revolution. What it was? First of all, we packed all browsers that we can pack in Docker containers. Second, we released tool to run these containers and made it compatible with our Selenium tests. And also we released tool for scaling, GGR. It stands for Go Grid Router, and it's like Nginx for your web application servers. We did a lot of new things that year, and the life became much easier. And today, when revolution is over, we're doing next step in Selenium evolution. Today we are running our clusters in Kubernetes. And we release special tool for it, it's called Moon. Also we have solution for mobile testing. You can test your mobile application and your mobile websites. Also we have now auto-scaling thanks to Kubernetes. You don't have any balancers. You can just install Moon and that's it. You have auto-scaling cluster. And pretty good time we are living. Let's talk short about Selenoid. Selenoid, it's open source software. It's totally free, and it run Docker container with your browser when your test needed, and stop it when your test is over. For each test, you have separate containers, and you can use images that was pre-built, or you can build your own images with your browser or your version of browser. Selenoid already uses in many companies, and it's cool. We are happy that our products getting popular. And also, we have a client page on GitHub. And you're welcome to add your company logo. You can just send us a pull request, and we will add your company logo to our page. Also, we have a great community in Telegram chat. There are a lot of people helping each other with Selenium infrastructure. And also, we have a lot of stars and forks on GitHub. So thank you for Thank you for stars. And a short brief about Moon. Moon is like Selenoid, but for Kubernetes. Selenoid runs browsers in Docker containers, and Moon runs browsers in Kubernetes pods. It's closed source and it's commercial for $5 per one parallel session per month. Up to 4 parallel sessions, it's totally free. Also, if you use Google Cloud or a DigitalOcean, there is a Moon in their marketplaces, so you can just one-click deploy. Okay, now let's talk about what's new in Selenium infrastructure in 2019. First, Puppeteer. Puppeteer is a Node.js library, and you can include this library to your test, and all the things that you can do in your Chrome developer tools on your desktop, you can do with the code. Puppeteer tests looks like a standard Selenium test. Here an example. Here I'm creating a new session. Then I navigate to duckduck.com, taking screenshot, reading page title, printing it, and then I'm closing the session. How it works? Puppeteer use Chrome DevTools protocol to communicate with browser. It's just an API in Chrome and Chromium-based browsers. And Puppeteer use this API to communicate with browser. All the methods of this API you can find by this link. But if you don't use Node.js for your tests, and you want to use Chrome DevTools protocol, you can check out this repository, and there is alternative libraries for any popular languages, and you can use it in your test. And finally, Puppeteer and all alternative libraries that use Chrome DevTools protocol is fully compatible with Selenoid and Moon. Okay, the second thing, Android emulators. We made 2 images, and you can find them on Docker Hub. The first one is just pure Android without any pre-installed apps. You can install your app in your test by sending an URL to your APK file in capabilities. And when it starts with your mobile application, and you can test it. And the second is Android emulator with pre-installed Chrome. So you can test your mobile websites with it. Here, all versions that are now available on Docker Hub. And you can use these images in your automated tests or for manual testing. I will show you in a minute about manual. But if you want to customize some image, or you want to install specific version of Chrome, you can use our tools. We use these tools to build our images, so you can use it also. And the third thing that I want to share with you today is manual sessions. It's a little enhancement in Selenoid UI that allows you to start manual session in your browser. And first, little demo how to install Selenoid and Selenoid UI on your Ubuntu server. Here I'm using CM. CM is just a runner. It stands for Configuration Manager. So I'm starting the command. And it automatically pulling images for Selenoid and Selenoid UI. Also, it's pulling images for browsers. By default, it's the last two versions of Chrome, Firefox, and Opera. It runs in about 2 minutes. And it's really simple to install Selenoid and Selenoid UI. It's so simple that this video was recorded by my shark from IKEA. All you need to pre-install is just a Docker. And after this command, I have 2 containers on my server, one with Selenoid and one with Selenoid UI. And I have working UI. And now the demo how to run manual session in Selenoid UI. Here I'm going to Capabilities tab. Then I'm choosing the browser. Here I'm going with Chrome 76. And just clicking Create Session. And when it starts, I'm unlocking the screen by clicking on this blue button and maximize the window. And here I have a browser that I can manipulate. So we add a browser to your browser so you can browse when you browse. And it's totally working. And then I'm just closing the window and deleting the session. And this is how it works. You can run Chrome, Opera, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, and Chrome Mobile manually. Here, a demo for Microsoft Edge and Android. I'm doing the same stuff, just clicking the button, and it starts in about Windows-based browser starts in about 30 seconds. And when it starts, I have real Windows with real Microsoft Edge in my browser, and I can manipulate. And then I'm just closing and deleting the session. And here a demo for Chrome Mobile. It's Android emulator with pre-installed Chrome for testing mobile websites. It's the heaviest one and the slowest. It starts in about 1 or 2 minutes, depends on your hardware. And when it starts, I have Android emulator with Chrome, and I can manipulate it. And then I'm just closing. So But there are some limitations for Windows and Android. Because of when you start Windows or Android in Docker, you're actually starting a KVM virtual machine. So you need a hardware virtualization on your server. And also you'll have a lot of hardware to start it and running properly. We recommend to start these platforms on bare metal servers with at least 2 CPU and 4 gigs of RAM per one session. So, this is all the things, all the new features that I want to share with you today. All the things that I'm said today and all information and documentation you can find on our site, aerokube.com. Also, please follow us on Twitter, subscribe on Facebook, on YouTube, and join our Telegram chat. And before questions, I want to share with you some discounts for our commercial products. For Moon, it's 3 months free for any number of parallel sessions. And you can find license key by this link. Also, you can find these slides. And for our cloud solution, browsers.aerokube.com, we can offer you 20% off for first year. It's our cloud solution, and it's like Browser Stack and South Labs, but much more cheaper. It's just our tools running on our bare metal servers. So this is why it's so cheap. And I don't have time to speak about it, but it's really simple tool, and you can just check the website. And now, thanks for your attention. I'd like to answer your questions.
Guys, do we have questions? Yeah, do we?
Was the hand or not?
No. Okay.
I have a question about iOS support. We saw Android emulation, and what's about iOS? They can be emulated in Docker. So what's the way?
The thing is that you don't have Docker in macOS. And now there's no solution to run iOS manually in Docker containers. You can just run Selenoid in WebDriver mode. You can check the documentation. And you can use Appium with an iOS simulation. So there's no solution yet to run iOS simulation in Docker containers.
Okay, clear. And second question, I saw you emulated Windows. So I can emulate any operation system I want to test in Ubuntu, Debian, and some older versions of Windows, yes?
Yes, you can.
Great.
Also, you just have 30 seconds to start Windows in your browser. And you can use it for desktop application testing, I think.
Great, for manual.
Yeah. Here's the question.
Just out of curiosity, how you manage the Windows license inside of the Docker?
We do not have managed Windows license. We do not have Windows images on Docker Hub. We have an article with instruction how to build Windows images. So, of course, we can't publish these images. So we publish just instruction how to build, and you can build on your own.
Yeah, but if I take your hosted solution and then start using your Docker as a session for my desktop,
You can use license, I think any license you can use on your desktop.